Quick experiment. Next time you're home alone at night and the lights go off, notice what happens to your body. Before your brain can catch up and go, you're a fully functional adult. Relax. Notice the split second before that. The slight tightening. The sound in the hallway that suddenly matters. The shadow in the corner of the room that was fine 2 seconds ago and is now somehow suspicious. You're an adult. You know there's nothing there. And yet, here's the thing most people don't know. That reaction, that little spike of unease in the dark, it never fully went away. You didn't outgrow your fear of the dark. You just got better at ignoring it. And the neuroscience of why you still have it, and why it's actually almost impossible to fully unlearn, says something really interesting about how your brain works in general. Let's start with the obvious question. Where did it come from? The answer is old. Very old. We're talking 2 million years of nighttime being genuinely, lethally dangerous. Leopards, lions, hyenas. Almost every apex predator that hunted early humans was nocturnal. Night wasn't a vibe, it was an active threat window. The people who were completely relaxed in the dark, who strolled around the savannah at midnight without a second thought, they didn't make it. The ones who felt a spike of alertness when the light dropped, who froze at rustling sounds, who stayed close to fire, those are the people whose genes survived to produce you. Your fear of the dark isn't irrational. It's a finely tuned survival response that's been field-tested for 2 million years. You're not being anxious. You're being ancestrally correct. But here's where it gets more interesting. The fear of the dark, when scientists actually study it, isn't really a fear of darkness. It's a fear of incomplete information. And your brain treats incomplete information the same way it treated nighttime predators. As a threat until proven otherwise. Here's the mechanism. When you're in complete darkness, genuine zero-light darkness, your visual cortex goes quiet. No input. And your amygdala, which is basically your brain's alarm system, responds to that silence in a very specific way. It doesn't relax because there's nothing threatening visible. It escalates because there's nothing visible at all. No data. And in the amygdala's threat assessment model, no data is categorized the same as danger. Because if you can't see what's there, you can't rule out what's there. And this is the part that's kind of unsettling, your brain fills the gap. Not randomly. It fills it with the worst plausible version of what might be in the dark. That's not anxiety being dramatic. That's your predictive processing system doing exactly what it was built to do. Generate a model of reality based on available information, and when information is scarce, err on the side of caution. The shadow becomes a shape. The shape becomes a threat. Your heart rate goes up before you can consciously register why. Researchers measuring this in adults found something that surprised them. Even people who confidently described themselves as not afraid of the dark showed measurable physiological arousal in darkness. Heart rate up. Skin conductance up, which measures low-level sweat, the body's stress signal. The thinking brain said, "I'm fine." The nervous system said something different. So what does this have to do with real life, beyond just being useful context for why you always sleep with the hallway light on? Here's the connection I find genuinely interesting. The exact same mechanism, the amygdala escalating in response to missing information, isn't just about literal darkness. It's about uncertainty of any kind. A medical result that hasn't come back yet. A relationship that suddenly feels slightly off and you don't know why. A career situation where you can't see what's coming next. We experience these exactly the way the body experiences a lightless room. Scanning for threats, heart rate elevated, imagination filling in the blanks with worst-case scenarios. Because to your nervous system, uncertainty and darkness are functionally the same thing. Both mean, I can't see what's out there. And the response is the same ancient reflex. Escalate until you have more information. Which is why anxiety spirals the way it does. It's not irrational. It's your amygdala doing its job in the absence of data, generating increasingly alarming models of what might be in the dark. And here's the kicker. The treatment for fear of the dark, the thing that actually works, isn't telling yourself there's nothing there. That doesn't touch the amygdala. What works is controlled, repeated exposure. Spending time in the dark and having nothing bad happen. Teaching the amygdala through experience, not reasoning, that the darkness doesn't automatically equal danger. That the incomplete information resolved, and you were fine. Same thing works for other kinds of uncertainty. You can't think your way out of the fear of the unknown. You have to move into the unknown and find out. There's something quietly useful in this. Your fear of the dark, that little spike you still feel even now, is your brain caring intensely about your survival. It's the accumulated vigilance of every ancestor who made it through the night. It never fully leaves because it was never supposed to. The trick isn't to get rid of it. It's to recognize it for what it is, your oldest alarm system going off in the absence of information. And then to decide, with the part of your brain that came later, the part that can reason and learn and update, whether there's actually something in the dark worth being afraid of. Usually there isn't, but sometimes there is. And that's why the alarm still exists.